on Facebook, which we should be. Maybe one more refresh. All right, there we go, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Charlton's Originals and Narragansett Presents. We're here with the multi-talented Daniel Parvis. You're a musician, you're an actor. I was looking at your website. If you go to your website, danielparvis.com, you'll see a slew of incredible photography. But if you go to About Daniel, you'll find out some information about you being an actor. We were both on the show Drop Dead Diva.
Yeah, we were. That's what's up.
What episode were you on? What was that?
Oh,
what did you do on that?
I think I always forget if it was the first season or the second season. It was the first or the second season. Later in the game, I played a character called Corey, mailroom guy, pops in there for a minute, kind of shy, nerdy guy, and but kind of gets the girl at the end. Which
you had lines?
Yeah. I was talking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Like, I got fired, and I'm like, I got fired. I don't know why, but then this hot girl came up and talked to me, and it's the girl that the main guy likes, Ben, the actor, the guy.
The main guy
who's on Superstore. Yeah.
That dude.
So it's the girl that like he's in love with. It's the Drop Dead
Superstore.
Best friend.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's where okay. You just put that together. I don't remember. I showed up as an extra, and I don't know what episode it was, but I remember we filmed it in February, and we were in Atlanta, and we were on like a building, right? And the scene it was supposed to be like Miami, and it's supposed to be like really, really beautiful, and it's nice and everything.
Yeah.
And it was super cold that day, and everybody was freezing.
Yeah.
So like they got this scene, and everybody's like gorgeous on this building because it's all like models and stuff around this building. And you hear action, and you hear everybody like they're like having drinks and everything, you know. And then you hear cut, and you hear everybody's teeth chattering because it was so cold. And then they're like giving everybody blankets. I don't know what episode it is, but I'm the long-haired guy that looks like his entire body was covered in a Band-Aid for like a week, and they ripped it off because I had to be shirtless. I didn't know I was going to be shirtless. So like that was another like I used to be overweight, so this was like a big fear. I had to be in front of all these people.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like really obese, and I lost a bunch of. I actually starved myself. I lost like 100 pounds during the summer, and I remember I came back to school, and nobody knew who I was. And they used to make fun of me for being overweight, and then they started making fun of me for being underweight. So that's the way life goes. But I remember being so paranoid on that rooftop with all those beautiful people.
Yeah,
it was freezing cold. And yeah, my body, it was so fluorescent looking. Everybody else looked like they were on Jersey Shore.
Right.
I really stood out. I stood out. I looked like a vampire.
So you were like a featured extra. You had kind of.
They had me walk around because of the long hair. There wasn't a lot of people, guys there with long hair. So because of that, they pulled me. It's funny with acting. A lot of it's based on a look. You know this. I mean, you take headshots and you do all. You've seen these different perspectives, but a lot of it is based. You know, you do auditions at house, and you know, I've kicked myself often. Because you think, oh, I'm not a good actor. I'm not good enough. And that's why they didn't pick you. And it might not be that at all. It might just be, I don't know. I landed a part on a show called Quarry, and I almost didn't audition for it because they said that he was supposed to be like a bodyguard, like a big dude. And I'm not really like a big guy. So I'm like, there's no way they're going to pick me. The roommate I had, a girl named Star Smith, she's a director actually in LA now. She forced me into doing the audition, and she screamed at me and yelled at me, and she's like, you're gonna do this. And I was like, all right, we did it. And then go and behold, that's the thing that you never know with these kind of things.
It's true, man. It's true. I had a similar situation some years ago when I was auditioning for Of Mice and Men down at Serenby Playhouse. They sent me the invite, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to come read for Slim. He's a great character, and I think I'd be right for Slim. And they're like, we want to see you for George. And I was like, well, yeah, okay. I just assumed I was too tall for George. You know what I mean? I was like, because he's supposed to be kind of a smaller guy. Lenny's big, George is small. I just figured I couldn't play George. But once I got in my head, like, I could? All right, you know, and I went, and lo and behold, man, I got to play George, and it was amazing.
How did that change your as an actor, like how you look at things now?
Oh, you know, just kind of reinforcing like what you were talking about, that you never know, and there is some flexibility, and sometimes there, you know, if there's a specific character description and a breakdown, they might actually be considering other types, other looks, you know, so don't necessarily sell yourself short. I mean, I feel like there's still some things, you know, I don't have this problem too much anymore, but it's definitely happened in the past where you're submitting on stuff, you're like, I'm not right for this at all. I'm way too young, you know, or I'm way too this or that. But generally, you know, you just never know. So go for it.
With your agency, if you get submitted and you obviously have tried different roles and different, do they change that? I mean, you're like an attractive, I would see you being like a lead actor kind of guy, but because you can do different things and because you can do character parts and stuff like that, do you ever get those opportunities, or is it all just like leading man, main role kind of thing that you're getting?
In film and TV?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm definitely, you know, sometimes I think I don't book because I'm too good looking. No, you know, there's not like, I don't know. It's to me like there doesn't seem to be a lot of opportunities for, you know, major roles, leading type roles. You know, it's good that we are getting more shots at some good supporting roles and like recurring roles. You know, those have definitely grown more as Atlanta's blown up more and more. So it's good that we're getting more shots at that. But
how long have you been acting here in Atlanta?
Oh man, let's see, I graduated college in 2004. Had a little brief adventure for 6 months to a year, and then I came back and 2005, 2006, settled into Atlanta. I apprenticed with the Atlanta Shakespeare Company and did that for a year, and then they kind of kept me on, and I worked real steadily with them for 8 or 9 seasons. I did some other theater as well, and somewhere a few years into that is when I got an agent and started trying to get into film and TV as well.
Okay. Yeah. Did your agent, did you have them come out to the play to have them like see what you can do, or how did that?
They definitely had been to the tavern, because that's actually how a few of my fellow actors ended up signing with them. Okay. But I just ended up, you know, just submitting my materials and getting a meeting and just having a little meeting, and they decided to bring me on.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Wow. So you act, you do stage, and you do film, and you also write your own music, and you're a photographer. Is there like a favorite medium that you have that you work on, or is it ever changing? Or
man, I love. I can't choose. I really love doing all those things. I don't know if I could pick one. You know, the music. I'm so wrapped up in making music and acting. You know, something I've always done. I grew up doing it as a kid. You know, community theater and stuff like that. And I just love doing that. I love the process of doing it, and I love affecting people with it. You know what I mean? Being able to give people what they need, whether it's, you know, the catharsis, you know, at the end of Mice and Men, and someone needs to cry some tears at a good story like that, or if someone needs to laugh at a stupid Shakespeare clown. Like I love being able to deliver feelings, you know?
Yeah, you do a really good job. I can tell even when you're performing in your songs, there's a lot of feeling. I could sense you're like going through something when you're playing your music. Who influenced you like to be getting to an entertainment? Did you have like family that's into music or arts, acting, things like that?
Yeah, my mom had a similar kind of childhood. She grew up she was dancing and acting, doing musicals and that kind of thing. And she was always kind of a performer from a pretty young age as well. And she and my dad actually met in the high school play, and that was that.
No kidding. So
it's like I never had a chance, you know. And,
you got it from both sides.
I said. So we grew up into it, you know. Even when we weren't in shows ourselves, like we were going to rehearsals with mom and that kind of thing, and then doing our own things as well.
How long have you been playing music?
I picked up the guitar when I was about 14. Mm-hmm. My brother picked it up shortly before I did. I wasn't long behind. He's 2 years older than I am. So I kind of learned from playing with him and watching him. So yeah, I was about 14, and by the time I got about halfway through college and I left Dallas, because I left halfway through school at SMU. I wasn't real happy there, and I just needed to take a break. So I had 2 years off school, and then I went back and finished at Georgia. But in the meantime, we had a band after I left school, and we played a little bit, had some songs, and had a little fun. And
did you do any touring while you were in the band?
Oh no, not really. No, we played a few places around town, and we got a little sidetracked by life stuff. I was going through a lot of my personal mental health stuff that was keeping me from, doing a lot of things, having a real tough time those couple of years. And after that, so this is around 2000, and then for the next, here we are, 2020, I guess almost 20 years. I wouldn't say I didn't pick up my guitar. I got a guitar and I still played, but I was never confident enough to share my music. I felt like I couldn't finish songs. I felt like I wasn't good enough at guitar. I wasn't good enough at singing. My songs weren't necessarily that good. So it was something I kept pretty private until about a year and a half ago, when I really started to get some of my mental health stuff a little more straight, and I dove back into music and just kind of went full steam ahead and started feeling like I had something that was worth sharing.
If we don't have to talk about this, but if you're okay to talk about it, I'm kind of interested. How did you overcome whatever issues were causing you to go out there and play?
Honestly, it was this last run I had about a year and a half ago, just meeting with a new psychiatrist who looked at my history and said, "You've tried all these SSRIs and these are your experiences, and clearly they're not working for you. We got to try something different." And he's like, "We're going to try this and we're going to try that." And it worked. I just started to feel like I had more of a handle on my anxiety and my depression. And I just felt more able to tackle life, which, unfortunately has really been hard for a lot of years for me. I've spent extended periods of time, not doing super hot, and I still struggle here and there. It's, ups and downs, and I get worried about where it's going. But yeah, that just finding the right, and some therapy too. I was in therapy, and yeah, I started to get more right.
Well, I'm happy you finally spoke to someone that, said the right thing or did the right thing to make you feel like you're an incredible performer and musician for sure, and we're all blessed and lucky to have you performing
Thanks,
as much as you can. I think your music is really, really great, and it's funny that you feel that way, because some of the most talented people, I think, are the people that feel like, like, please don't listen to me, please don't, I don't,
Yeah.
And I would say you're one of the most talented musicians I've heard in Atlanta. I really do. You want to play anything? Do you have a
sure?
Yeah, if you want to pick out a song,
pretty good to go here. Yeah,
whatever you want to play, you're more than welcome to.
You tell me, man. You know most of my stuff by now. What do you feel like?
I'd rather you just pick whatever you're feeling. So just whatever.
Right.
Cool. You control the moment.
All right, let's do it. Can you shoot in the breeze here while I just rotate?
This is Ryder Dan joining us for Charlton's and Narragansett Presents. You can check him out. DanielParvis.com. It's an incredible photographer, incredible musician. If you go to the Ryder Dan and the Highside on Instagram, you can see a lot of the videos he's done, a lot of the shows he's done. He's got a few shows coming up. He's going to be performing on December 19th. Saturday, December 19th at Charlton's. This is part of a long day of music. Laura Lockey starting that off. Then Naveen Thilligan, then Grottomatic, then Mark Schroeder, then Mark Cole, then Personal Galaxy Music, and Ryder Dan will be the final performer for that night. And then also you can hear him at Charlton's on January 7th. He's going to be starting off the original show that we do every Thursday, original music. He's got a lot of great original music, and we're about to hear one, I think. All right.
Keep shooting the breeze, man. I just bumped my thing, and I gotta do that quick reboost here. That's what I get for being clumsy.
No, it's not. It sounds good. It sounds epic. It sounds very...
Does the audio sound good through the mic?
It does sound good. There is an echo going on, but I don't. It's not anything. It sounds cool. It doesn't sound like it'll affect the music.
Turn down that reverb a little bit. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
All right, this is Ryder Dan and the Highside, everybody. Thank you for listening and letting us be a part of your day.
So I'm going to play a song. Jason knows it real well. It's called Clean, and it's kind of about what we were talking about, kind of where I come from, where I've been, what I'm going through, and trying to get through it. Like to hear it? Here we go. North California, mountain grown, shade of Utah, going down somewhere in Georgia, in the ground. Guess that's where they leave you. All alone, most every day now, with my dogs, I just lay down in the sand, the freeway right outside my house. It's just too loud. Cold black sky still breathing these clouds. Ashes and rain keep washing me down, and I can't get clean. Can't get clean. Can't get clean. Mason jar, topped out with whiskey, and more, just till it burns me. Shut the door, close the curtains, wait here for certain. Cold black sky still breathing these clouds. Ashes and rain keep washing me down. I can't get clean. Can't get clean. Then I can't get clean. All this time spent running from the ghost with arms around me, wasted, waiting for some clear water to fall, but all around is burning. I can taste it, man, I can taste it. It don't taste clean. dark sky still bleeding these clouds. Ashes and rain keep washing me down. And I can't get clean. Can't get clean. Man, I can't get clean. Should I just leave? Should I just leave? Should I just leave?
It's kind of great. That's a fantastic song. It really is. I could hear that in like movies. I see that in, a movie where maybe someone's like moving across country or something like that, and like one of the scenes where they're transitioning, kind of thing.
You got it. That's some of the very constant feedback I get is like your music is like driving music. It's like driving into the sunset, going out on a big old adventure kind of tunes, and I'm like, yeah, that fits, because
I could I could totally understand that. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Oh man, that was I wrote that one. When was this? It was. When did I actually write that? It was definitely over 2 years ago. It was before I started to get better in the head again, and I was just doing real bad, man. And that one just kind of came out of struggling and feeling like I was alone and just looking out the window and listening to the freeway outside my apartment and laying with my dogs and just struggling,
that's tough because like that, your music feels very real. You feel very real. I really like your music. I think it's, emotional, it's gripping, but I hate to hear that you're my friend, and I don't want you to have to go to like a dark spot to have to write something so real. Is there something that can be done? Have you tried different approaches to your songwriting to where it's, or different times of the day, or what is your approach in general?
My approach in general, most of the songs I've written are just from noodling on the guitar and coming up with something I like, and then just start finding the melody and piecing some words together. And like I said, it used to take forever for me to write a song. I felt like I could never finish anything. These days, I just seem to write songs really quickly, typically, and without too much struggle. Like I come up with a thing, and then the words come out, and I mean, I'm writing songs in like a day or 2 days, and then I'm like, okay, cool, that's done.
And it feels like a completed project, like you've got that where you want that to be.
A lot of times lately, yeah, I'm certainly, and stuff I want to like to flesh out more, and then I play more with coming up with some different guitar parts and stuff, which has been fun too. Since I also feel like over the past year and a half, something clicked with me, and I feel like I got better at guitar. I just understand the instrument better, which I never did before. I could strum some chords, but
yeah,
I'm in a place now where I feel like the fretboard makes sense, and I can come up with new ideas relatively easily, and that's really cool because then I like to flesh it out.
Yeah, that's cool. That's when you're getting comfortable with it. I think when you start off, you're like learning to play, and then eventually you start playing with it, and it becomes to where it's like, oh yeah, I can do this and I can have fun.
Yeah,
And
man, I wish I got it before, but I never had lessons or anything like that, and I just couldn't wrap my head around pentatonic scales and stuff like that. And I don't know if you've heard of the caged system, but that's what made it click for me when I thought about it, not in terms of like this is okay, A minor pentatonic, and this is form 1, 2, 3, 3, but I could never figure out how to piece it all together, and it was a jumble in my head. But when you think about it in terms of the caged system, which is CAGED, and you think about each scale position in terms of that chord shape, then when you know whatever key the song is in, you just know how to tie it all together, and it's so
caged system is what it's called.
System, yeah.
But do you know anything about when did that come out? The caged system. I've never heard of this.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's videos on YouTube. I recommend anybody, if you're struggling with guitar and like I'm talking about, and you just pentatonics, it's a mess for you.
Yeah.
Watch some videos on the cage system and see if something starts to click. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like I have to check that out. I got dyslexia, so it makes it kind of lefts and rights and everything's kind of, so I'll have to check into that. Maybe that would help figure some of that stuff out. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But
do you know how many songs have you written?
I think I'm pushing in the neighborhood of 20 or so, I think.
Okay. And you find that they're quicker and more often?
I would say definitely more so now than in times past, and it's still in ebbs and flows and in bursts. Because I usually don't set down like, oh, I want to write a song. I'm going to write a song.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's like a burst of inspiration and an idea, and then it happens. And it's certainly since COVID, like I've written a bunch of new songs that just came up during COVID. Like one I wrote recently, I was just having a really bad day, and I was in my shed, my shed where I play most of the time.
Yeah.
Cold. Now I'm in the basement. I was in the shed, and poltergeist, man, like this shelf of fluorescent tubes just came smashing onto the floor for no reason. I wasn't even near it. They smashed all over the floor, and I was like, damn. I was really, I was already having a bad day, and I was sweeping up this glass, and I started like angrily, sarcastically, like singing a stupid song about how much this sucks. And then I was like, wait a minute, clock that. There's something there. And I was like, okay, let me find out what the chords are to my stupid song I just made up. Okay, wow, that's a real song. Another song I wrote recently, the Penny to Please song.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Which I like a lot, and I'm super happy because it's not a particularly sad song, which is good because I've had plenty of those. This song kind of rocks, and guy trying to keep his woman happy. But that song came after I did a live stream performance, and my friends were watching, and I played my sensitive stuff, and one of my friends started giving me a hard time, saying like, that's not like the crowd pleaser rocking, girls song I wanted to hear. Just give me a hard time.
Yeah.
And I still had my stuff right there, and I just started goofing off to write a little joke song like that to send to him to appease him.
Really?
And I was like, oh God, no, there's something there. And then I spent the next, I was up till 2 a.m. writing the song and finished it the next day. And
yeah, that's a great song. That's crazy that came from like kind of a joke a little bit. Yeah, it's funny how things like that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Clark, for giving the world a fantastic song. That's for sure. We're here with Daniel Parvis of Rider Dan and the Highside. So why do you go by Rider Dan and the Highside?
Oh man, I came up with that. I love motorcycles. I have one. I love it. It's my life. It's part of what keeps me sane. I just can't tell you how much I love riding, and I've always loved bikes. Even riding my bike as a kid, like bikes were my thing, and I knew I always wanted a motorcycle. And I definitely got one later in life than I wanted to, but I just never had the money for one. Mm-hmm. But I've been riding now for about 11 years, and I love it. Right? It just feels like part of my identity. You know what I mean? Rider Dan, and I just came up with the Highside idea. Just when I was trying to flesh out what I would like my name or my band to be, and when I came up with the Highside, I was like, that's perfect, because I know I explained this in a show or two, but a Highside is a kind of motorcycle accident where typically your rear wheel loses traction, regains traction, that throws you off the bike over the high side of the bike. It's a terrible crash. And I've never had one. I've actually never had any crashes yet. They keep trying, but they haven't got me yet. But anyway, it just felt like a great metaphor for my life, because that's what my whole life has felt like. It's like I'm on the track for a second, and then I'm spinning off, and losing my mind. So I was like, all right, that's fitting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do a great job. I love all the music that you play. I know you're going to be playing on Saturday at Charlton's. That's going to be December 19th. We've also got you performing next year, starting us off first original show of the year. That'll be Thursday, January 7th. Is there anywhere else you're going to be playing that we should let the people know about?
No, nothing lined up other than
Okay.
that right there. Yeah.
Well, Saturday, December 19th is going to be music all day long. It's going to be some of the best artists that we've been lucky to have at Charlton's performing. And Ryder Dance is going to finish that off at 9 p.m. Would you like to finish the show with a song for us?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's run it back. Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for giving us your time.
Oh, yeah. Got one right there. Got one right there. Yeah. Back we go. Any requests for you, sir?
Just whatever, user's choice. I don't want to, yeah. I want everybody to perform whatever they feel at the time.
Try not to bump my things this time.
So wise words to live by.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play y'all a song. This one's called Black Tide, another true story. Wrote this one almost a year ago, end of last December. Got a interesting message from someone from my past, and it's all true. And I'm swinging that jar in the air. I try to catch the feeling again. Silver sand running through my hands. Hover moon falling cold and thin. Sun setting 10 minutes away. Takes you to the places where you know you can't stay. Sell your story to the blind and the damned. Put some truth into the words of your dad. Said you always were a little shit. Joke a liar with no fire lit. Suicide that never died in your fits. And a face he would be happy to hit. Now it's son, it's sure been a long time. Thinking about you and I love you's line. I guess the past don't really matter in crime. I think I'll pass, I fill the jar and it's fine. Oh, black tide's coming. No more sense in riding and running. When you know you're gonna sink, you can't swim it. Oh, black tides come. No more sense in riding and running. When you know you're gonna sink, you can't swim it. So kick your shifter and throttle away. Lean into your loneliness and lie by the lake. Buy a bottle, find a piper to pay. Sing all the things that they don't want you to say. Keep swinging that jar in the air. Try to catch your feeling again. Silver sand running through your hands. Hover moon falling cold and thin. Oh, black tides come. No more sense in riding and running. When you know you're gonna sink, you can't swim it. Oh, black tides come. No more sense in riding and running. When you know you're gonna sink, you can't swim it. Sunsetting 10 minutes away. Takes you to the places where you know you can't stay. Sell your story to the blind and the damned. Put some truth into the words of your dad. Oh, black tide's coming. No more sense in riding and running. When you know you're gonna sink, you can't swim it.
That was really beautiful.
Thanks, brother.
Daniel, man, you're an incredible songwriter, man. You really are an incredible songwriter. You're an incredible talent. There's not a lot of people that can do all the different things you do, man. That's incredible.
Thanks, Von Stein, man. Like you, again, I've said it to your face. I'll say it here publicly, man. I appreciate you and all the support, man. You've been huge. You've been massively helpful, and I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out and doing this, giving us some of your time. Make sure you check out Writer Dan. You can check him out on Instagram. If you want to check out Parvis.com, you can see his website filled with incredible photography. You got an incredible eye. And you should come out to Charlton's if you can. On Saturday, December 19th, Writer Dan and the Highside will be playing at 9 p.m. He'll be finishing off a show of a bunch of wonderful musicians. And also, he's going to be starting off the original show that we have every Thursday. It's going to be Thursday, January 7th. He's going to be the first performer. Him and Mark Schroeder are going to be jamming with us, along with Joey, the Mad Scientist. So it's going to be a pretty incredible night. Dan, thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I love you, my friend. Thank you very much. Keep jamming and keep up the good music. Thank you all for listening, and be well.
Thanks, y'all.